So we are getting some bird and privilege. I think mostly we're getting privilege scrub, because privilege scrub is deadly to a bill. Birdable is important. You have to take it out, but privilege violation can take you out. So we're again getting that as we go along as well. But when we pass a bill, then they will see it in its aggregate and make some
messaging, because that they have to take some of those things out regardless, no matter what you send over. You said you weren't going to send a messaging bill.
No, we're going to send a messaging bill, but we want to be sure that what we send is not birdable or bird bath or privilege scrub. They're the two exercises we're getting engaged, bathing exercises we're engaged in. And we're getting good response. There's no bad answer. It is what it is. There's a certain objectivity to it. It is what it is. Because whatever it is, this is the greatest, monumental, historic piece of legislation that any of us will ever be a part of it.
You can rest assured that it will always be the greatest and most historic piece of legislation that any of us will ever be a part of, regardless of how many times we have to run it through the bird bath.
Well, see, I was gonna use a Fetterman clip, but apparently we don't have a Fetterman intro. So
every time I've tried to put together a Fetterman intro, like I would like for it to be at least something that's like semi-coherent. That like it's so dumb. Like, you understand what they're trying to say, but they're so dumb that it doesn't come out right. With Fetterman, it's like, what? Like, there's it hurts my head trying to put together a Fetterman clip. I did have one. I had put together a clip one time, but I don't think I never turned it into an intro, and that's on me. I need to do better. I do need to get something Fetterman-ish to. I need more like bumbling Fetterman and Joe Biden's.
Well, let's see if this is any bumbling or what this is. Is this
since that deal was?
I'm digging his new look. I have to be honest.
The deal was struck for certain
skinny firefighter.
Yeah, he's got like the porn stash going on.
Funding numbers for all of the funding bills that have to be passed to make the budget, keep the government running. The Senate has basically been delivering those and passing them by big 91-7 bipartisan majorities. The House today looks like it's falling apart. You've already got 17 no votes in that House Republican caucus saying we're not passing anything. What do you think's happening here?
Yeah, like I truly, I was very proud of my colleagues, because they're really about governance. That's what it is. And on the other, the House, the whatever they call themselves, Team America or whatever they call themselves, I just say, bring your vote. Otherwise, they need to go hump a different leg.
he's talking about Boebert there.
Did he just say go hump another way?
Hump
another leg.
Yeah.
Hump a different leg.
You're humping up the wrong leg, buddy.
Fetterman.
Yeah, this is the got to be one of the body devils, because he speaks way too clear for being
that's the one that they wanted to get in, but he was nobody, so they couldn't. They just replaced the old Fetterman with a bot they wanted, and there you go.
Do you think because of his like sheer size and just like general demeanor and appearance, that's why they failed to get the clone out the first time whenever they put him in rehab for like 3 weeks or whatever, and his wife disappeared and ran away to Canada with the kids and all of that stuff? And like, now they've
have you tried fighting Frankenstein's monsters? The dude's got strength, man.
Yeah, he's got that retard strength.
They finally finished cooking this thing, and now it's ready to roll out. So that's what we're getting. I'm wondering though.
Apparently, he has a lot to say about the auto worker strike too. So
my message to the CEOs is, at $74 million, collectively earning that, how many yachts do we need? The yacht, the water
See, this is the Fetterman I'm used to.
You know, I mean, it's crazy. You know, I don't.
The Fetterman we all know and love.
Yeah, that's what I want for my politicians right there.
Dude,
Are
you
they
know we got
discovering-
screwed because we could have had him and Herschel Walker talking about like slaying vampires, but we got gypped.
Are we?
Yeah, I
Are we
mean,
finding out that like the clones, as they're rolling these clones out, it depends on how like mentally cognizant the original was for what the clone is going to come out like? Because all of the Biden clones just like break down and can't speak, and the Fetterman clone seems to have some. While there are some better moments, it seems to have some pretty serious defects.
Multiplicity issue.
I think a lot of it, yeah, but I think it has to do with too, like when you look at who they're body doubling. You know, like you're finding a body double for like a 80-year-old senile man. Like you're finding a body double for Shrek. Like, I mean, you know, it's not like you're finding the best and the brightest here. Like we're starting at bottom rung anyway. Like.
That's why the DeMar Hamlin one was so easy. See, because and why it works.
Well, you just find a black guy and there you go. I mean, they all look the same anyway, right?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
You were just gonna tee Clyde up for it. That's what. Well done, very well done. You knew if you just said the right thing, you could get one of us racists to finish this. You could get one of us racists to finish the thought for you.
Is he still in the news and stuff? Does he do anything, or is he just kind of disappear?
He has been a healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row. I bet you he has he even been on the sidelines? Like I've watched both of those games,
I don't think
and there was no, like you would expect with all of the big deal that was made about him, you would expect that they would like be panning in and be like, oh, here he is on the sideline, like suited up, and, you know, ready to go. He's just not going to play today or whatever. Like. Yeah. There's been no I don't know. It's
so. I mean,
yeah.
Is his heart just gonna give out if he plays? Is this like a charity thing, or does the body double just not know how to play football?
I mean, he was a pretty good DB. Like he was no slouch. So it's entirely possible.
Well, that's what I mean. It's got to be hard to find somebody to replace that.
Yeah, you can't just find somebody that's going to be an above-average NFL defensive back. Like those aren't just walking around on the street like the other thing that they were looking for.
Maybe.
But,
like sloth-like retards.
Well, like yeah.
Pull him out of Chicago. Like give him a purpose.
I'm just waiting for the Bills to finally win a Super Bowl, so then his heart can grow 2 sizes that day and then explode.
But also, like, it very well could be that he is not actually. It could be him for real, and he is not actually healthy. And they know the second they put him on the field in like real, because what he played a handful of snaps in the preseason and even got like 2 or 3 tackles, like nothing big. Like it was like gimme plays against third stringers.
They put him in one of those like. They put him in one of those big bubbles. I think they put like the 5th graders in there, put the big bubbles on and crash into each other.
I didn't watch those.
Put him in one of those
games.
red jackets like they put the quarterbacks in.
Did he ever like take his helmet off? Like
they'll hit him, he might break.
They could have just put an above average, or a slightly average black guy in at DB. And never had him take his helmet off. Put him in a DeMar Hamlin jersey. No one would ever know the difference as long as he doesn't take the helmet off.
They found a job for Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, that would be hilarious. But Colin Kaepernick wouldn't let that slide. He would have to be the forefront of it. Like that ego is massive.
If they run a lot of nickel or dime, I mean, it would be easy to like miss him out there.
Well, that's another thing is they could
football. I know what you said.
Well, that's another thing I would say for like the preseason. They can just throw him out there in a nickel or a dime package, and then he doesn't have to actually like make contact. If somebody comes close to him, he can get in on a gang tackle and get credited for getting the tackle, even though somebody else did all the heavy hitting and. Never put himself at risk, and there's ways you can get around.
So
Well,
Can-
so
can
if
you
we want
explain-
to, we're probably losing Dag with all the sports talk.
Well,
I'm
that's
here.
what I'm gonna say. Like me and Dag, I think our understanding of nickel and dime is probably slightly different than yours. So I'm curious if you guys can explain that at all.
Okay, so in a standard defensive package, you've usually got 4 DBs. You've got two corners and 2 safeties, and then you've got the 7 up front, either a 4-3 or a 3-4 set with down linemen and linebackers.
Yeah, and
Okay, so
How come my defense got no points on Sunday?
they gave up too much to the other team. Who was your defense?
The score was like 24-25.
There you go.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Like,
I don't remember who my defense
They
is.
didn't get it. Like you get points for sacks. You get points for
Yeah.
like
I
stopping.
was just like, did the whole defense not play? What the fuck?
well, they got 13, right? I mean,
Well, you start. Okay, so let's go back to nickel and dime. So nickel and dime packages are where they take out either a lineman or a linebacker and put in another defensive back. So you'll have like 4 down linemen. One for a dime package, you've got 2 extra defensive backs. For a nickel package, you've got 1 extra defensive back. So that's just the nickel and dime are the way they're
Sure.
referred to. So.
Yeah, and inflation killed the term nickel and
And then
dime.
as far as
for me.
Dag's defense, as far as Dag's
Now we can
defense,
only
Nobody's
think in
buying
dollars.
dimes anymore.
You can only think in dollars now. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
as far as Dag's defense goes, the defense in fantasy starts with 10 points, and then you lose points as you give up points and stuff, and then you can gain points by getting interceptions, forcing fumbles, getting sacks, so on and so forth. So it's entirely possible that while the game was like 25-24, they didn't get any sacks, they didn't get any interceptions, no forced fumbles. They just played an above an average game, and at the end of the day, the points they gave up, while not picking up any extra points for doing good things, just ended up being a wash, and you got 0. That's probably what it was.
Neat.
Sorry, that sucks. If it's any consolation, Stephanie was going to whoop your ass either way.
Well, so we've been we talked I think Monday about the F-35 jet thing. So apparently there's been an update to that. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yes, it did what my dad's drone did. It flew off through a tree and blew itself up.
Oh, I thought you meant attacking Cuba. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
it was from some video game, but they put out, look, and attack Cuba, and then Cuba shot it down.
Yeah.
Part of me was like, oh my god, I hope that's real. I was like, this can't be.
If it did, that'd be hilarious. Though. Like
Continue the zombie mode.
like the
If the AI pilot in the plane was like, fuck communism.
hates Cuba. Well, yeah, if it hates communism, it'd probably be starting a war with China or something.
are the F-35s what we've been given to the Ukraine? Like, how many of those does the Ukraine?
No, I don't think we've been given any F-35s. F-35
Yeah,
are like
that's probably our only one right there. That's the
F-35
one that we've
I don't
spent
know.
like
I
$2
don't know.
trillion on.
Yes, the
80
F-35. I thought the plane
Bernie
itself
Sanders,
cost
baby.
80.
So it,
Yeah,
like,
the
is it a
plane
drone
itself
then,
cost 80 million. They
essentially?
actually
'Cause, like,
the program to develop the F-35 cost like $2 trillion. The plane itself was like $80 million to build the plane, but the research
See,
and the
that's what
development and
they
everything they
chinked
put into
out
it
on the
over the
plane.
years.
Yeah. I
so
want
this is
$1 billion or $1 billion or more. Otherwise, it's not worth it.
pour all this into the program, put nothing into the plane, and then this is what happens. It turns into a zombie, and who knows?
Probably the pilot's fault. Let me. From what is the pilot? I want to know what's going through the pilot's head that he just ejects.
He probably like. I mean,
he's flying around and then just like eject. Oh, I gotta eject, emergency eject. Like,
Got to test the
Yeah, they
efficiency somehow.
said it was like a training mishap, but there was no like explanation given as to what the mishap was that resulted
put the
in
eject
the
button in
pilot
the wrong
just
place.
ejecting. He thought he was
Is
hitting
this
the
a cigarette
afterburner.
lighter?
You never push the red button.
See, you could be leaking secrets though, about confidential military vehicles. Apparently, again, this has happened like 12 times. They've apparently there's an F-117 flight manual, which isn't top secret, but they're leaking like classified information on War Thunder, this military vehicle game forums.
What is War Thunder?
I think I need to start playing this game.
Yeah. If you go to the forums, apparently they keep leaking there was leaks about tanks.
These IP laws are getting out of hand. They really don't want you to be able to fix your own equipment. I want to be able to work on my own fighter jet.
Hey, I found it in the field fair and square. I should be able to put it back together. Okay.
Yeah,
right?
If you ever find a F-117 Nighthawk, there's the repair the flight manual there, so that way you can actually learn how to fly it.
Is there like a reward? I wonder. They put up like posters on milk jugs, missing F-35 if found. 35K.
Imagine as soon as that happens,
Corey, I need the
people
screenshot that you had of the where they were asking for help finding it. Corey sent me a screenshot of a PSA that went out for the people of South Carolina asking for help in finding this.
Oh no! Why would they do that? That's like the dumbest thing ever. Because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I found it. All right, I'm telling you.
Speaking of governments asking for help or not asking for help from the public in hilarious ways, Marion County Sheriff, this is in Indiana, I believe, Marion County Sheriff's Office seeking public's assistance in locating murder suspect. He was accidentally released due to what they called a clerical error. Supposedly the people responsible when fired, but the issue is that they didn't tell the public for 6 days that this happened. So I saw this morning. I just thought this was hilarious. You got to listen to this guy's explanation. I didn't realize it was so long.
Good afternoon.
Jesus Christ! Hold on, sorry guys. Let me
a mustache.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me find the shorter clip of him just being like explaining why they didn't. You guys go ahead and talk about something.
So are you saying that they let this guy out? I guess that maybe they thought it was like he was getting out on parole or something like that.
Yeah, something fault. Like that. Yeah, he was there 2 days. They let him out, and they didn't tell the public. Basically, oh my god, this video is like 10 minutes long.
He was only there 2 days. That's even worse.
He was only there. Yeah, he was only there 2 days.
You get out of jail now. Yeah, it's like
he goes, well, we didn't inform the public because you see the element of surprise is actually more advantageous, so we don't want him to know that we're looking for him, and then that way we got one over on him, but they still haven't caught him, right? And now they're telling us, so that's kind of bullshit. Obviously they just don't want to admit that they accidentally released a murder suspect, but yeah, he's just like, no, it was a tactical thing, like the 5-year-old will spill grape juice on the couch trying to explain.
But here's the thing, like, do we just assume that this guy really thinks that the cops are not going to be looking for him after he he's got right?
No, they let me go fair and square. Double jeopardy. They can't rearrest me.
That's probably you know what? That's probably exactly what he's gonna say, Dag. He's probably gonna use that. It's like, this is double jeopardy.
Come on, man. Time served, dog.
Yeah. It don't matter. It don't matter what the judge said. They let me out, right?
That's just dumb cop explaining stuff away. I do have some
cops,
Boebert
dumb
news.
criminals. Oh yeah.
I've got 2 Boebert stories. Boebert. So one, her date, I guess, owns a bar, and it's getting flooded with 1-star reviews. Is it a gay bar?
Are they?
Yes, it's a gay bar.
Hooch Craft Cocktail Bar in Aspen.
And he's a Democrat donor. which was the I guess the bigger story is he donates to the Democrats and she's a Republican and then she was like there's a TMZ clip of her talking about it. She's like,
Do you think she was getting paid?
I don't. I mean,
She broke up with him,
she's
so
getting paid.
supposedly anyway.
Oh yeah, look,
She what?
burlesque and drag shows at said bar. Wow, you're right.
So,
I want the reviews. Are the reviews like at least?
Isn't burlesque like
Amusing?
code for like fat goth chicks?
I'm not sure what the actual because burlesque I've seen on like like signs outside of like anything from regular strip clubs to gay strip clubs to what the fuck ever. So I think it's just one of those like terms that you're allowed to put in public.
That's
that you
not
just
strip
sorta
club. It's a classy version of
Yes.
a classy way to say
Burlesque.
You just know you can't bring kids, or you're supposed to know that.
I
Burlesque.
thought it was like an older term. Like it's
It is
not
an older
like
term.
it's not like
Yeah.
you go into a juice bar and you're getting
It's like a
slapped in the
1920s
face. It's kind
kinda
of
thing.
like playing the piano with your ass cheeks and
Burlesque,
Yeah, I was
is,
more-
speaking
more
as far as how it's referred to modern times.
burlesque is hookers pretending that they're in Moulin Rouge.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh, well said. Well said.
That's good.
So then, I don't know if you guys saw this. Bobert's estranged husband says, "You guys should be blaming me. This is my fault because he drove her away."
Oh, that
What?
that was so stupid. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, it's all my fault, dude.
That looks like Swalwell.
Freaking. Like,
She's a
that's-
wonderful
that's-
wife,
that's
mother,
cuck
and
behavior.
grandmother.
Oh my god, yes, that's cucked behavior. Like,
I hold all responsibility. It upsets me that everyone believes she left me over fame or a new lifestyle that is far from the truth. Yeah.
I think he's getting that I believe he's getting paid to say. I
was
do
thinking
believe
the
it.
same thing.
I think he's getting paid to say that. I think. I wouldn't. No self-respecting man would just say that kind of stuff. I don't think.
No, I don't think. I mean, no, you're not.
That
gonna say
can't look
on
good in the
your own.
divorce hearing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that could be a thing too. Like he doesn't want to get raked over the coals. Which I mean, technically,
He's got to watch some
he
gay
should be-
Democrat grope his wife on TV. Jesus.
Technically, he's kind of. I guess it would be in the more advantageous position, I guess, than unless he's just like some like a millionaire, because he should be able to get part of her
Yeah,
earnings, so.
maybe she's
Well,
giving him some more leeway in the divorce.
I
Hey,
don't know.
you go out and say this, and you can have the Jeep.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that Jeep. I know you do. I was just taking it because I know how much you loved it, honey. I'll let you have it if you do this. I don't know how divorce works. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Stuff going on.
Hmm.
Oh,
Is Justin all right?
Justin's transforming into a car.
He's getting ejected. The car's going.
That's, he's got the smoke detector going off. He forgot to change the batteries. Oh, here's her response. Her actual response from after the whole event. Bobert's response here.
I know it's been a rough week, or has it been?
It's always hard whenever
It's always hard.
Or there's boobies involved.
It's always
I feel like
hard.
those things behind with my penises.
put on the voters. I'm here to provide levity and lift burdens off of people. So anytime that they're carrying mine, it's
Buoyancy.
something that kind of feel deep inside. But ultimately, all future date nights have been canceled, and I learned to check party
Feel up her
affiliations
buoyancy.
before you go on a date. But all in all, it was mostly a lovely time, and I've taken responsibility for my actions. Would love to know how the musical ended, and I encourage people to go and see it. But yeah, it was a great time back in the district, seeing voters and.
So how would the
Hold up. She didn't know that he was a Democrat donor with with a gay bar or any of this stuff? Like, was this just like a Tinder date or something? Like, was this just a random ass hookup? Like, it seems suspicious that you would just go out with somebody that you know nothing about, and that's a lot of stuff that was found out pretty quickly and easily just from like pretty basic search. Like, she didn't know jack shit about this.
She needed to spin this as like that's her kink.
She wanted the D. That's all it was. She was like, this is the.
A good publicist would have spun this as her kink. She's likes to do stuff in public and likes to do stuff with people she feels power over. And feels like they're retarded.
She likes to.
And that's
she likes to dominate and fuck Democrats.
Dominate Democrats.
She likes to dominate and fuck weak Democrat men. Yeah,
she's like, you just didn't let it go far enough. We would have got back home. I would have put the strap on and really let him have it. This is for America, guys.
For America.
Yeah.
It's a red, white, and blue eagle on the front.
You're gonna put on her bald eagle mask.
See, that would have been the ultimate the ultimate way to spin it and own it.
I'm sick of the government always screwing me. I just want the shoe to be on the other foot one time.
Yeah.
I thought this was in Colorado.
Yes.
The guy's bar is in Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, but
I think she was in Colorado. Yeah, she was in Colorado too. I'm pretty sure because she was saying she was in the district. Like
to SDG's point, though, I think Colorado is pretty. It's gotten.
Can we get her and Force Mommy together? They're both in Colorado, right? I pay $1 a month for that.
You would subscribe to that OnlyFans.
All your public sparkler content. Oh shit.
She's running for office. She's not doing that stuff anymore.
Aspen's probably pretty just like Richie and progressive and shit, right?
Well,
I mean, they have a gay bar.
A lot
doesn't
of
even have a gay
California
sounding name.
implants.
You're supposed to make the gay bars obvious through a clever name, so dumbasses like me don't wander in. Nice place, honey.
Or maybe that's the point.
Yeah.
Trying
to ensnare me. Who would have thought the Manly Man Bar would be gay? God.
Or the hole in the wall, or the outpost.
Yeah. The mail sack. Oh fuck. You guys just want to keep naming fake gay bar names, or do we want to find something else?
Is there anything else? I mean, fake gay bar names.
Well, there's. I don't know if this is what Corey was talking about, but I found this from a couple days ago about somebody carrying a gun to an RFK Jr. event. They arrested him.
Oh yeah.
Was that Pork Fest?
No.
If I was I know Kennedy name carries a lot of weight, a lot of prestige, but I think I would change my name if I was a politician. I don't know.
Right, like the weight that it carries for popularity purposes might be outweighed by the weight it carries for you're probably going to get assassinated purposes.
Well, also, when you're full of lead, that adds weight too.
He's a health nut. I don't think lead's good for you. Sorry, guys.
Well, very well played. That was dad joke of the day right there.
Yeah.
Well, also diffusing so we don't get taken down.
Yeah. Yes. There we go. I know. Do you know how hard it was for me to type in RFK Jr. assassination into the search bar? Like, oh God, this is gonna come back to.
One of VPN incognito mode.
Oh yeah.
Like all of a sudden,
Please pre-search the whole bit.
Government agencies, just
whatever. If you type in RFK assassination, that is going to probably get you put in a couple chat rooms where they're like, how can we help you? Are you interested in this? Are you interested in this particular model of an AR-15? We can get that for you.
There's like a
15-inch barrel, got you covered.
Would you like some body armor as well? How much are you planning on spending here, sir? We can We can expedite this. Just make sure you give us updates
Excellent
the day of, so
discount.
that we
Would
know
you
where
like
you
a
are.
brand new Silverado and 2 Daniel defense rifles?
No, see, they gotta give him the new Bronco. You know, make it look like a
Did OJ get a new Bronco and like post on social media like standing next to his nice new white Bronco?
did he not?
If he did not do that, he missed a golden opportunity to really play it up. Like,
Well, see, here's where I have to
Bronco
fact
missed a
check you.
golden opportunity for an advertisement clip too.
I have to fact check you. That was Al Cowling's Bronco. That wasn't his. He was borrowing.
yeah, but nobody knows that.
Everybody knows it as OJ's white Bronco.
Right. It's OJ's escape vehicle. Whether it was his or not is inconsequential in the narrative of what actually happened. It's OJ is associated with the Bronco. It doesn't matter that it wasn't actually his. Like, yes, those of us who were old enough to have been around during the time, we know that it wasn't actually OJ's Bronco, but that doesn't matter. It's the story that we're telling with it, and Ford should have leaned into that.
The saddest thing is people aren't old enough to remember how funny he was in the Naked Gun movies.
Oh my gosh, those were the best. Like, man,
How many
that
used
was-
car salesmen think when the Broncos came out added like a free pair of leather gloves or something? Like a year's supply of leather gloves. Right?
I feel like I remember something like that. I don't think people took it well.
No, they should have, man. That would be.
That's because people don't have a sense of humor anymore. A bunch of stuck-up prudes.
You know, you gotta have a lawsuit every time somebody is making fun of something like that you find offensive.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, TMZ is just Real Housewife news today. Is it really that slow of news?
No, Real Housewives is just that popular with their kind of audience.
What did somebody say about DePape?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there some new news about that?
I didn't see that. No.
Corey asked about DePape, but I don't know anything about DePape, and I'm not in a position to quickly search it. So I'm cleaning my knife.
Yeah.
Our airplane girl from the other day got offered $25,000 to do porn.
There's a 100% chance she's taking that.
Yes.
I don't see anything new.
Raise.
Last thing I found was August 2nd.
She might be Instagram famous, but Instagram famous don't pay the bills. She'll take that porn money. Thank you very much.
That whole face thing and lips these days is just so, I don't know, man. That's weird. Can you imagine just walking around like that?
Their
Ugh.
cheeks, their cheeks
is
are all
that?
sucked in, and their eyes are dead, and their lips are too big. Like, it's not appealing at all.
I don't know why they do it because like it's like what guys find this attractive? Like I really don't. I don't know any guys that.
The whole big lip thing. I mean, it looks like they like wrapped their lips around a tailpipe and burned them. I don't know why they think that's attractive.
Maybe that's what they're
Or like
advertising.
Yeah, like they've been sucking on something all day, they have a permanent lollipop stuck in.
I wonder though, like, do the kids these days find that attractive? Is that like the new thing? You know, like that's just it, and we're just too old for it. I mean,
See, big boobs, I get. Okay, you get a boob job, I get it. You know, to a degree. But then, I mean, there are some that like go way overboard.
But small boobs are in now. Like
Are
small boobs are popular now. It's not all about the big humongous double D's. It's like small perky nice
Fat
titties.
bags.
I don't think big giant titties are nice. And not my cup of tea.
Well, you know, Chicago probably doesn't have big nice cities.
It's fun to go Cuban every now and then, Justin.
But the
city-owned grocery stores. What?
They're having trouble.
hold on,
They said they're having Walmart and a lot of like Whole Foods just left, I think, recently, Chicago, and so now they have.
But what does that
food
mean?
deserts.
City-owned grocery store.
they're going to own the actual
Oh,
own the property
proposes.
and
Okay, I'm.
Yeah,
The
they're
Ministry of
going to-
Groceries.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, they set up some deal where Walmart and Whole Foods had to like.
no, they're planning to. He's trying to make a suggestion of, well, if we can't
Yeah.
get Walmart and we can't get Whole Foods to service Chicago, like let's build our own, I guess, with the city money.
No, I read it as
State
like,
ran grocery store. What could go wrong?
Like, like
The-
Windy
the
City
bread lines-
groceries.
The bread lines are about to be very real in Chicago.
The shoplifting lines.
yeah, there's no.
I mean, that's the whole reason they don't have the stores there, right?
You
That's
couldn't even do a
the-
bread line in
the-
Chicago. Are you kidding
Dad,
me?
have
The
you
truck
seen
would
what they're
get
doing?
like jacked the second it pulled into Chicago. Like,
Have you seen what they're doing with the Walgreens now, where they just have kiosks and everything's locked up? Like you walk in, punch your stuff in on a screen, like you're going to a Wawa or a Sheetz, and then
No,
somebody
I
will bring it
haven't.
up to you.
I haven't.
Our CVS ain't like that, or no, our
So-
Walgreens ain't like that.
So Walmart, there's like a Walmart spokesperson had put out a public statement when Walmart was questioned about the multiple stores that have been closed down in Chicago, which is creating these like giant food deserts, and they said since the first Walmart opened in Chicago almost 17 years ago, none of our stores have ever been profitable in Chicago. They're like, we like Walmart that makes money hand over fist in the poorest, like just most rundown parts of the country,
Rural areas, yeah.
rural areas that have never been able to make a profit on any of their locations in Chicago because the theft and also because of the over unionization of the workforce in Chicago. Like they have to pay those people so much money. The stores are bankrupt before they ever even have a chance. Like Chicago is an absolute hellhole.
Yeah.
They have good food there if you know where to go, but yeah, it sucks there.
I've never been. Don't plan on going.
Yeah, I feel like not having much lead in my diet. I prefer not having.
Gotta travel the world, Trey.
See, I don't.
As long as you don't wear the wrong colors, you'd be all right. I think.
Yeah, on the wrong side of town. I guess I could
Just stay
wear
on the south
red.
side.
See, I could wear red on a certain side of town and blue on the other.
So you just stay away from like the reds, the blues, the yellows. Like don't bother.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Browns.
just keep it black. I can wear black.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leave
Or
the hood at
white.
home.
Yeah, it's
Or all
cold, so
white,
make
yeah.
sure it's
I
covers
wear
your
all
whole
white.
body.
I don't know
Yeah.
about wearing all white though. They might get a little bit of a vibe from me. Me,
All
me,
white,
a white guy
something-
wearing all white.
all
it might be
white,
good to-
Or
something
they just
with
run
a-
the other way because it's like,
all
why is
white,
there a
something
ghost on
with
the
a
hood?
I have a hoodie. Like I have the hoodie on.
If there's one thing that they're scared of, it's scary ghosts.
Dude, those hoodies that have like the zip all the way up the hood? Have you guys seen those? Yes,
Yeah.
that's we need to get one of those.
Oh.
Zips
somebody
all the way
needs
up
to
the
make
face.
one of those. Yeah.
Is it for
has, like,
napping?
little- I don't know, dude. The kids love them.
Yeah, it keeps your face warm in the winter, or when you're burning something.
Can you actually see out of them? See, I feel like that would like make my
Some
make
of
me
them,
freak
most
out.
of them
I'd
have
be like
eye
breathing
holes.
and just be like,
If you want to smoke on a windy day, they're perfect.
Anybody got $1 I can borrow?
no.
Oh yeah, hold up. Here, did you get it?
I'm waiting for the barber shop to open to get a haircut, and I've got a 10, 2 ones, and $5 worth of quarters. And
What's
it's,
a haircut
and
go for up there?
18 bucks, and I've got 17. I think he'll probably.
There's
I
another
think he'll probably be all
car
right.
on the side of the interstate.
You're not gonna tip them, or is this a
I'll
gay
give a
barber?
tip. Don't cut hair for a living.
Well, he is.
Don't touch other men's heads.
Oh, dude, I
He is
hate,
gay.
I hate them.
He is gay, but that's beside the point.
Well, that's why your hair looks so great, man.
Yeah, well,
You've got the best
yes.
hair of the group.
He cuts mine and Sean's hair. I don't tip, but we like get him stuff. Like, does that make sense? Like instead, he's like
I don't know.
he's
I'm
like
afraid
a,
to
Well,
inquire further.
I
He
mean,
goes to the gay barber. and
Well,
just
I got you.
Unless you're buying him dildos,
No, he's a friend, so we like.
Look at this new one. This has only been in the shop like a week, man.
You're
I
friends
don't
with
sell
those people?
eggs. People donate money for feed for my chickens. I got
I
you.
don't believe I don't believe your whole shtick anymore, Justin.
Yeah, he's over here giving kudos to gay guys, and then he talks about like all repealing all the LGBT stuff. Kind of something doesn't add up, right?
One day you're the most fascist alt-right friend I have, and then the next here you are getting your hair cut by a homo. God.
When we started coming here, he wasn't out of the closet. How about that? He was still.
You're the one that brought him
you gotta
out?
stick with him. I get it.
Yeah, he was still married and all of that stuff whenever we first started coming to him, and then it was really funny.
Fell in love.
No, whenever
Harry
he
just
came,
couldn't- he just
whenever he
couldn't
came,
help it anymore.
whenever he came out, and like Sean told me about it, it's like, yeah, that's not really surprising. Like I kind of figured. I wasn't sure what was going on with the whole being married thing, but what? I wasn't going to question it. People, do what they want to do.
Keep up appearances.
Yeah, I get it. It's small town, rural Indiana.
Justin does get
You
it.
guys ever go to like ethnic barbershops? Or have you
I've
ever?
gone. I've gone to a black barbershop a couple times. I like the way that they line up my hairline around the back, but the lack of like order is weird. Like you just sort of sit there and wait until they like point at you and like, come on, it's time for you to get your hair cut. Which, I mean, it was fun. We talked, like, there was I can't remember. I think the NBA playoffs were going on, and so like talked a lot about the NBA and basketball and stuff, and it was cool. But also, like, I just kind of want to get my hair cut and go home.
Yeah.
You ever got your hair
Really
cut
whole event
by
of
a
it.
Cuban, Dag?
Ever had my hair cut by a Cuban? I've had my hair cut by definitely some sort of Hispanic.
I've never. My haircut is either-
There's a place near here that they don't. I like it for the exact like what Justin's saying because nobody spoke English, so it was like the quickest haircut. In out. It's like, what do you want? I just said, maybe like longer on top, shorter on the bottom, and and all right, did it up, bam, 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 nice and easy. I used to go to some black barber shops, and I used to have I worked with a bunch of black guys, and half of them cut hair. And so they'd actually come over to my house for like $10. They'd come by my house and cut my hair. But it is neat because it is such a different style than like you typically get that it looks good because it's like, oh man, it's sharp and they edge you up and everything. And it's just a different style than what I'd always had. So it was always nice from time to time to get that little, just something a little different,
What was really funny was after I'd gone to the black barbershop, when I went to work on Monday, all the black guys at work, they're like, "Oh, you went to the shop over on Main Street." I was like, yeah. They're like, "Yeah, that's the way he does his lines." Like that's the way he does his lines in the back. Yeah, he does good stuff. I'm like, I guess I don't know. This is my first time I've ever had my hair lined up like this.
Like it's weird because like black dudes, like honestly, they think about their haircuts more than like us white dudes. Like we're just like, I mean, as long as it ain't in my eyes and
For real, look at Clyde. I mean, shit.
Well, I mean, I'm jealous of Clyde's hair. I want your hair for Halloween, Clyde. That's typically the costume I have in mind.
He can just dye it and then go out put white face paint on. Literally the
To be
cloud.
fair,
the cloud.
I gotta cut it today anyway. I think I would get the buzzer out in the vacuum and do a job.
Yeah, you got
Can you see?
You got to get it. You got to get it all trimmed up so you look
Kinda like-
nice for the return of Empty Tomb tomorrow.
Oh yeah, are we supposed to? Maybe.
I want my religious talk to come from a guy who looks like that. Personally, you should keep it like that.
Aliens.
The black barber shop I went to was actually very calm. It was like a middle-aged to older folks, grown man's shop. And I didn't really realize it was just a barber shop at the end of the street when I moved into this new house. And I walk in and it's like, I realized after I walked in, like, oh, it's a black barber shop. It's okay. Be cool. Just act like it's not a big deal. I was like 18, I'm like, that's cool. But it was funny because I sit down. He's like, oh, he had no idea what to do with my hair. He's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I think he had like the chart. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like a haircut. And he's like a number 17. I'm like, yeah, sure. Just do it.
The few times I've actually been to get like my hair cut somewhere, it's always been like white people, and they just like they didn't know what to do with my hair, so that's why I started doing it myself. I guess I probably should have found like a black barbershop, huh?
Yeah, with as kinky as your hair is, they probably
Let me like
you need to go to like a black women's like a black salon. They would know what to do with your hair. It's you're long enough and curly enough. It's like black girl hair.
I don't know if I would have been able to handle that though.
Man, they give you extensions and everything, dude. You come out there looking fly.
Hell yeah. or you end up with dreads and you look like the fucking Predator.
Or Snoop Dogg nowadays. Jesus. I saw a fucking picture of him the other day. He's getting up there.
How do cornrows look on a receding hairline? I've always wondered.
I don't know. I used to have I had cornrows for a hot minute, and it was like, full head of hair.
Oh, I found your dreadlock pictures.
Yeah, there's a few of them. The first time or the second time?
I think it was the second time.
Okay. First time I was like 20. It was actually I had hair, so.
All right.
I appropriate everything. I honestly, I think the second time, I just wanted to appropriate things and like piss people off. Like, it was just one of those like, haha, look, I can do this too.
Well, I don't know how to segue to this, but
what even
apparently this is a thing. Apparently the Sound of Freedom. I don't know if this is the one of the guys.
This is the guy that was like linked to the Clintons, right?
I don't know. Tim Ballard accused of sexual conduct against 7 women. So this and the Russell Brand thing. I don't know if have you guys been seeing the Russell Brand thing?
No, he got like Me Too or something, or rape accusations a decade ago. He got Danny Masterson.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
That's gonna be the term now. Dude, I was reading. I guess fucking Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis had like written like a letter like a while back. Well, yeah, like saying like a letter of support. Then they wrote a letter apologizing, and then I guess Ashton Kutcher like had to step down from like his like whatever his like I don't know what to call it, charity or whatever for like anti-child sex abuse charity. Like,
what is it? Hold on.
So
do I have to go look this up, or can you give me a recap of Danny?
Okay, so Danny Masterson got accused of
Hyde from that 70s show.
Yeah.
Kind of look like you.
Did he do anything else?
Sexual misconduct with a number of women from back in the early 2000s, like literally 20
stuff.
Literally 20 years ago.
He was probably like 17 at the time, right?
He was like 20.
I think he was 20, 21. Yeah, something like that. Early 20s. So anyway, he was accused of a bunch of stuff. So they went to trial on it, and initially it got thrown out because they didn't have any evidence. They couldn't produce anything other than just a bunch of he said, she said. And so it initially got thrown out on a mistrial because they couldn't produce any sort of evidence. Then they got it back in front of a different judge, and that judge found him guilty. So
with no evidence once again.
With no evidence, just a bunch of he said, she said. Like it's the whole thing is really weird. You almost can't be like, well, maybe, we should look for evidence for some of this, because then everybody's like, oh, you're supporting a rapist. It's like, but is he? Like, I mean, the whole thing, he has denied it vehemently the whole time. Nothing. There's no police reports. There's literally nothing to corroborate any of this. And it's the same thing with the Russell Brand thing. And like, why does this come out now? Like, Danny Masterson got on the wrong side of Scientology, and then all of this shit starts to come out. Russell Brand gets on the wrong side of mainstream media, and now all of this shit starts. Like, what's the angle? Is like, there's no evidence. It's all just he said, she said, and it doesn't matter.
People liked Russell Brand. What did
people do like
get upset
Russell
with
Brand
him for?
But he's more conservative now, or he's
not as commie as he used to be.
He's also questioning the pharma narrative and things like that.
Right.
Okay.
He's getting the anti-vax, anti-Biden, anti-Ukraine labels. And And you can't be anti all of those things all at once. That makes you like public enemy number one. You are effectively
especially with a
alt-right super
core
MAGA.
like him. You know, like I mean, you're that much in the spotlight. You start touting those things, it's game over. Yeah. You think that people would like wise up to it a little bit, you know, that these things that happened 10 years ago and it's totally like, you know.
Well, there's certain people don't
didn't
like
happen.
other people. It's almost like high school behavior. There's like, oh, you know, it was like with the Tate thing, whether you like Tate or not, like Andrew Tate or not, like immediately people who didn't like Tate, as soon as he got accused, wanted to say like he's the ultimate rapist and all this kind of stuff. And then and then as soon as Russell Brand got accused, people who don't like him come out and say, "Oh, I don't like Russell Brand. He's a rapist now," and all this kind of stuff. So it's really just a litmus test of like, do you like the person enough to consider that they should get a fair trial, or do you just dislike this person and you just want to call them a rapist? Like,
well, and it doesn't matter that there's no evidence. It doesn't matter that there's like it's literally just a bunch of like, you know, he said, she said, because as soon as they've made the accusation, now it's the truth, whether it is or isn't. Even if it ultimately were to go, the Russell Brand thing will probably never see a trial or anything. Like this is just a smear. It's going to be the same for the. And
he's already demonetized on YouTube. He's already lost all kinds of brand deals. Like he is basically a pariah.
Right, damage done.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens from this point forward, they accomplished exactly what they wanted to. Like they can drop the entire narrative today and never say another thing about it.
And he's already done.
And come out 3 months from now and admit that the whole thing was fucking bullshit. And it doesn't matter. He will never be able to return to where he was last week because of what they did. That's the game.
Right. But I mean, arguably, I think like that does propel him in some narrative, some sectors, right? Like that you've been hunted by the mainstream media, by the left, by the establishment.
Well, right.
That gives him more credibility in some senses, right?
Yeah, that's
I guess.
Yeah, that's why I like. Well, no, I mean just with the regular like normie conservatives or whatever too, like because they see this and they're like, oh, this is like a, you know, if there's no evidence and you know all this kind of stuff, so some of them will be willing to go on board and you know say, well, you know, if there's no evidence, like you know. Then I don't see why he's getting persecuted for this. So yeah, they'll be on board, but so he will get some of that kind of popularity. Yeah, that's kind of what Tate had. Like you know Tate got accused, and then all of a sudden you know it's like, oh well, is there actual proof? And maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. You know,
I mean the dude did date an underage girl when he was like in his late 20s or early 30s. I'm just like making fun of like how everybody's so tribal on both sides. Even like the age of consent in the UK is like 16, and even like the girl's mom was like, "Oh, you're going out on a date with Russell Brand. I'll get you dolled up and I'll okay it and all that." I'm not like defending the guy, but like, yeah, there's no fucking evidence, so I don't
know. What are we gonna do?
Yeah. Good thing I don't care.
Let the retards play ball.
It's just the retard fight, you know. It's like this kind of media circus is like watching like the ultimate like retard fight. Because
are we trying to end the show? I don't
are you going to end it or what are we doing?
I don't know.
This is getting incredibly retarded.
Dag's a little retarded.
There we go. That's
because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.